Okay, on our reassembly, what I've done here is I've went ahead and put on these two pieces in the corner over here. This is the bar here, which is the part that puts the pressure on the arm to guide it towards the lead-in groove after the cycle. You can see it should be nice and smooth there. This is just gets cleaned and just a drop of 3-in-1 oil on the shaft before you put this back on. So then you have this part here. Then on top of that you have an E-ring right here, and then you have a copper washer, then the long spring, and then you just start the nut for the slider. Just begin to thread it because you'll be tightening it down later on. Then after, this is the first assembly that goes in. Oh, and then the spring here hooks on here from this little hook in the back here, from this little hook bend down there onto the post here, and there's a groove in the post for it to fit into. After that, this assembly goes in. This is the tone arm post. It pushes through from the bottom, and then on the top you have the thick washer first, then a thin washer, and then an E-ring, a E-clip right there. Some of these use a expansion clip that looks like a horseshoe, especially the 1957 models and Columbia, Capital, and so forth. They use the expansion clip, which is kind of a pain in the neck, but they don't use the they also don't use the thick washer. Anyway, what I'm going to show you on this, before we put the slider on, normally the slider would be next. However, there's an important thing to show you on this part here, which I can't show you once the slider's in place, but it's really important. This is the part that goes on the bottom stem of the turntable. When you put this on, it's important that you, before you tighten this, pull up on the stem, and you want just a very small microscopic gap between the knurled cam wheel drive and this part here. You don't want this to be so tight up against here that it can't move freely, and you don't want it to be too loose, because if it's loose like that, it's going to push up into the red cap and it's going to bind. So you want this to pull up on the stem here in this direction. Pull on the stem before you tighten it. Then tighten it when you have a tiny bit of gap between that and the drive here. Now we can take it back off, because you can't put this on until the slider is in place. And we're going to get to that next.